Before we begin the actual podcast, I actually added this little blurb because I have a surprise. I got inspired to offer a brand new course, starts in December and it continues into January. Right now, there is a mystery offer. So you're not able to know the name of the course. I'm not revealing it until later. Right now, the course is at a set price. I'm going to put the link. The price will keep going up until we reach $1,111 as the early bird price. So if you want to see what that is, go check it out. Right now, I can't tell you what that price is going to be because it's going to keep increasing until we hit that number. So go check it out. You can do that now. Of course, you do it whenever you want, or you can listen afterwards. But I can tell you that it's going to be flipping amazing, that I'm so excited about it. As usual, I'm so excited because I really am. It does have to do with manifesting. That's the clue. It also has to do with goal planning and ending 2022 with a freaking bang and stepping into 2023 as your best possible self. Okay, now on with the show. Welcome to Next Level Greatness, the podcast. Around here, we'll be talking about all things expansion, going from good to great and from great to greatness. I'm your host, Barbie Collab. Get ready for your next level. Let's do this. Welcome to Next Level Greatness, the podcast. I'm so excited about today's topic. 4 ways to reprogram your subconscious mind. Why? So that you can manifest more effortlessly. You know, we've talked about this before where we can have the vision boards, we can have the affirmations, we can declare our goals, change our behaviors. But if we haven't reprogrammed our subconscious mind, then the change is going to be temporary and we are going to be frustrated. So the reprogramming of the subconscious is what really, really matters. So before I go into that, I have to ask, how can we reprogram what we don't know needs reprogramming? So I personally like to go in deep and I like to look at, for example, my money stories of when I was a child. But this is something that you may not want to do, and especially if you feel like you just have a lot of stuff that you don't want to look at. I always recommend that you see a therapist if that's what you want to do and you need to do. But you can look at the present because everything that you believe is causing something. So what I mean by that is that if you look at your current reality, if you look at what your present circumstances are, what you've manifested, what is present in your reality right now is a result of the beliefs that you hold. So, for example, if you are deeply in debt, what are some of the beliefs that you have around debt? What are some of the stories around that? And so I'll use myself as an example. Debt is something that I had never really thought about. I have been in debt. I am no longer in debt, but I had $94,000 in debt after I finished graduate school. And it was a result not only of my student loans, it was also just a result of not spending wisely with credit cards, for example, and buying things for myself. And at the time I was married that I thought were going to make us happy. Okay. So I can look back and see that the spending back then was related to the belief that buying a certain motorcycle, for example, was going to bring happiness. So once you realize what is the belief around what is blocking you. So for example, I just gave the example of being in debt.
I started looking and I'm like, I see. So I kept spending because I thought that spending and buying and having these things would make me happier, or that my ex-husband at the time would be happier. And that just wasn't true. And so I want to encourage you to look at your present situation. And if you don't like what is in front of you, certain behaviors that you're exhibiting, it could be certain frustrations with your work, it could be frustrations with your relationship. And you know what? It doesn't even have to be frustrations, because you could have a wonderful life. You could totally be experiencing a pretty good life, but you'd like to manifest something that is just beyond this world. So take a look. And I said, something that is beyond this world, but really like everything. What does that even mean? That it's just an expression. I just mean something freaking beautiful and like, holy moly, I did this. Holy moly, this is my life, right? I get to, for example, if this is what you want, I want to be able to fly first class wherever I go. It doesn't matter how much it costs. Like if that's something that you want, then you want. So is there something that is blocking you from having the thing that you want? So simply, it's an invitation for you to become aware of the beliefs that you hold, period. So to do this, I would start with the question, what do I believe? And how is this showing up in my life? And all you have to do is look at your actual life. Okay. So now let's get into the different ways that we can reprogram our mind. So our conscious mind is the one that we're using right now. It's, if I tell you, lift up your arm, you lift up your arm. If you are going to make the decision to go to the grocery store, that's your conscious mind. That's the one that you are using consciously, right? Sounds so obvious. But your subconscious mind has been programmed as a child. It's the result of what your parents said, what the people around you said. It's the result of institutions, including education, government, the people around you. So you have certain beliefs about how the world works, and you're basically acting those out subconsciously. Your subconscious is like a manual of how the world works. Most of us, 95% of the time, are just acting out subconsciously. So the best way to reprogram our beliefs is when we are in a relaxed state. When we are in a relaxed state, our subconscious is just more malleable. It's more suggestible. It is just more receptive. And so I truly and honestly do believe that the easiest way, in addition to becoming aware, is to do the following. So number one, before you freak out, I'm going to say it, meditation. But you don't have to think of nothing. That's not what meditation is. Meditation could simply mean being still. And everything that I'm going to suggest is on YouTube. You can simply do a search on YouTube for stillness meditation, or quiet down meditation, or anxiety meditation, or loneliness meditation, or manifesting meditation. Whatever it is that you feel that you need in that moment. And if you can actually just sit and watch your breath, not think about anything. And if you're into that, or if you're open to that, I would look up Eckhart Tolle. Why is that important? Meditation is important because it drowns out the outside noise. Especially today, we are constantly stimulated. We are constantly bombarded with noise and text and television and music. And there's just so much going on. And if there's so much going on right now, we're constantly being programmed with all that stuff that you probably don't want to be reinforcing. So by quieting down through meditation, you'll be able to create like a blank slate. Just shut out the noise so that new and fresh ideas can pop up. I do believe that it was Albert Einstein, genius, E=mc², that said that he had his best ideas in the shower. I really do think that it was him. And why is that? Because you're not on top of the problem, right? So when you're not thinking about something, when you're quiet, when you're relaxed, then fresh ideas can come in. So the idea is really simply to quiet the mind. Number 2. So the first one was meditation, just trying to be still or working on quieting down, knowing that you won't probably achieve a complete state of stillness, but you might. But number 2, which is sort of related, is guided visualization. The subconscious mind likes sensory-rich information. And so with your eyes, hearing with your ears, you want to be able to see images. You want to be able to imagine feeling and actually feeling what you would experience if you were in that relationship, if you had the successful business, if you had your ideal partner. And the great news is that you don't have to do it alone. You can find guided visualizations for free on YouTube. I want to recommend, before you go on YouTube looking for a guided manifestation and visualization, I want to recommend taking notes or journaling to get clarity on what it is that you actually want to create. So why do I say that? Because you can go on YouTube and you can do a visualization of having your dream house or being welcomed by money or finding your dream partner. But what if you haven't actually really thought about what it is that you want? I think it'll be more effective if you take some time to craft your vision. And again, you're just setting an intention. I don't think that you have to have an exact picture of what you want to bring into your life. If that floats your boat and that's what you want to do, wonderful. But that's not necessary. It really is dependent on you, on the person, and the way that you like to visualize. So please don't feel that you have to have the exact image of how you want things to look. In fact, I talked about it on the previous episode that the way that I'm manifesting lately is more big picture. It's less specific, less timelines. It's more a feeling, and I just see the impact that I want to make. I know how I want to feel. I'm trying to not trying, but I look for moments where I can feel that feeling already without thinking I'm going to have 150 students and this is the exact kind of house and the exact patio. I don't know why I always do that voice. When I'm being masculine, that's when I get a lot of structure. So that said, sometimes I simply go on YouTube, and yes, I do it. I go on YouTube and I look for guided visualization. I just see what comes up. If I like the person's voice, I follow it. If I don't like the person's voice or the music annoys me, then I don't do it. It doesn't matter to me if somebody recommends a meditation or a channel or whatever. They're like, oh my God, you got to listen to this. I love it so much. If it doesn't resonate with me, I listen to myself. I listen to what I like and to what I don't like. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. I don't want you to feel like you have to do it this way because there are no specific rules. This is your life. You get to do life the way that you want to do life. The third way to reprogram your subconscious has to do with movement. So imagine yourself walking. So I'm kind of challenged when it comes to explaining movements. I'm not putting myself down. This is like a fact. When I say right hand, I have to think about like right hand, left hand. I think there's something with the structure of my brain. Like it's not very spatially oriented. But imagine you're just walking and you have when one hand moves forward, hold on a second. See, I'm standing up to do this. When one hand moves forward, and then the opposite leg moves forward. And so just like when you're marching, okay, whatever that is that I'm explaining or describing, that's the kind of movement that you want to use. So really not completely exaggerated, but opposite movements when you're walking, kind of like you're marching, while you are thinking about your manifestation, while you are daydreaming about the good stuff, right? Not nightmaring, while you're dreaming about the good things that you want into your life. Because a lot of the times we spend so much of our lives thinking about what we don't want and the things that we have to do and what's wrong in our lives. We don't want to be doing that. We don't want to spend our lives thinking that way. So the movement of right, left when walking and thinking about your desires causes brain coherence. And that is a way for us to reprogram our mind. And so when I go for a walk, I'm sure sometimes I think about what's going wrong or the solution to something, but I really do make a real effort, and it's enjoyable to dream and to think about the things that I want to have, things, intangible things, tangible things to have manifested in my life. And then the final way, I love it so much, to reprogram our subconscious is through hypnosis. I freaking love my online hypnosis sessions. And I recommend the hypnosis sessions by certified hypnotherapists, right? And you can see their information, and I'm sure they have their disclaimers online. But again, you just choose something that resonates with you. The other day, I was really upset about, this is months ago, I was really upset about something that happened with someone. I don't remember. I was pissed. And I was like, okay, I woke up, I was upset. And I said, I don't want to start my day like this. So I went on YouTube and I looked for a forgiveness hypnosis. It was 28 minutes. It was magic. I just felt like a different person when I got up. And I remember it was like 5 or 6 in the morning. I woke up cranky. I took my coffee. I went outside with the dogs. And I did it sitting down outside on a spring or summer day. And that did the quote unquote trick. So again, I don't necessarily have any specific channels. I do have a friend and I don't get any sort of kickback. She's actually done a podcast with us. I can link her website below. Her name is Alta Lainez, and I have bought many of her hypnosis sessions. Her voice is like freaking magic. And she has sessions on money. She has sessions on like weight loss. I recently purchased a womb hypnosis session. I mean, just it runs the gamut. So whatever it is that you want to manifest, I love hypnosis because hypnosis is actually speaking to your subconscious. So that is the perfect way for you to be able to reprogram your mind. So that is it for today. I have shared with you 4 different ways that you can reprogram your subconscious. And I wanted to remind you that the contest is still going strong, that you can still win a session with me, a live coaching call. And all you have to do is do it right now. As soon as we're done, is go on an Apple, look at your phone or on your tablet, your computer, wherever, and leave me a review. Take a screenshot and post it in your Instagram stories and your Facebook. Make sure that you are tagging me so that I can see it and enter your name in the golden hat. And I will be announcing the winners on November 23rd. And again, don't you worry, don't stress. It's going to be fun. I will guide you through the whole process. It's going to be amazing. That said, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening. We are so getting close to 10,000 episodes. I'm going to celebrate with you publicly when that happens. And you know what? I'm telling you that's where we are. We're close to 8,000 downloads. But you got to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. And I know that one day I'm going to say, guys, we hit 2 million episodes. It happened. But for this day, today, I'm celebrating exactly where we are, all that made me emotional, and how far we've come. Have an amazing day.
If you loved this episode and if you're loving my podcast, I would love for you to leave a review. They really do make a difference in spreading the word and having more people be impacted. Also, I'd love for you to join me in my Facebook community called The Magnetic Portal. You can find the link in the show notes. I'll see you next time.